Today I am going to demonstrate a nice salmon and shrimp dinner. I did clean the salmon first with water and lemon, so sorry I didn't show that. But I'm giving it a nice good rub with some extra virgin olive oil to make sure that that seasoning does stick. Now here are the seasonings. It is 2 tablespoons of Tony Chachere, 2 tablespoons of obey, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, and some parsley. So I'm going to mix that in because I want to sprinkle it all over the salmon and then rub it in. Some people like to do the seasonings one at a time, but I found it to be just a little bit easier when you are mixing those seasonings together. Now, you do not have to use the seasonings that I'm using here. You can use whatever seasoning you like to put on your fish or your salmon, but just remember that try to go light on any type of salt that you're putting on fish because it's not really hard to season. So I'm going to do that to both sides here. And I'm going to make sure that I rub that down really, really good because I want the seasoning to be on both sides and I want to taste it in every single bite. So you can see that I'm giving it a nice rub and that down so that all of that seasoning can get in there. And in a skillet or pan, I have some butter that I'm going to melt down on a high heat. And after I add that butter, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of garlic and mix that in really well until it cooks down. I want that butter and that garlic to melt together. Then I'm going to get 1 lemon, cut it in half, and get some lemon juice in there. So I used a whole lemon. Some people like to remove the seeds. It really doesn't matter to me if the seeds are in there or not. I usually don't even taste them. Then I'm going to add some honey. Now, usually I would add 2 tablespoons of honey. As you can see here, I'm not using any measurements because I've done this so many times. And then I'm going to just stir that in really good because I want that lemon and that garlic and that butter and honey to all come together. And I want it to, I'm going to put this on a really high heat. And I want it to kind of give the home an aroma. So as you can see, as that bubbles, I'm going to go ahead and lay that salmon in here really nice and gentle. And I want each piece of salmon to have its own space. I maybe could have used a bigger pot than this or a bigger pan than this because as you can see, I now have to move some of it over so that I can get that last piece in there. I want them all to get that same flavoring taste of all of the ingredients that we use. So I flipped the salmon over. As you can see, the bottom side is nice and brown and just looks so yummy. Look at that. And here is the finished product. I did go ahead and sprinkle some more parsley on the top just to give it that restaurant style look. Yes. Now I'm going to air fry some shrimp. I'm going to preheat my air fryer. I want it to be on 350 because remember, shrimp doesn't take that long. My air fryer is automatically set to 20 minutes, so I'm going to bring it down to 10 and let that warm up. Now with my shrimp, I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of use the same seasonings that I did for the salmon. The only difference here is that I actually added the garlic to the seasoning, the minced garlic, I'm sorry, to the seasoning and mix that up really well. And that's the reason why the seasoning look a little different here because there's a little moisture added to those seasonings. So this is one process that I make sure that I really give it some time and effort to because I want to make sure that all of the seasonings that I like to taste on my seafood, especially shrimp, it's all mixed in and it's all just on every single shrimp. As you can see, I've been mixing for about a minute now, and you can see that shrimp is going to be really yummy with all of that seasoning. Now that my air fryer has heated up, I am going to lay those shrimp down in that air fryer really nice and neat. So it's already preheated. So as I'm laying the shrimp in here, they are sizzling. You can actually see the sizzle in the video as those shrimp get in there. I would say just use a tongs or something similar to tongs to lay this in here. I mean, you can use a spoon, but I wouldn't suggest that. I would suggest some tongs so that you can lay those shrimp down and they're really, really nice and neat. Each shrimp has its own space so that while it's cooking, it's not overlapping anything, and all of the shrimp is going to be cooked at the same time. Now remember, it doesn't take long for shrimp to cook. Shrimp takes about maybe 2 to 3, maybe 4 minutes on each side. I was about to say 2 to 3 minutes, but yeah. And this is how I took some of that extra seasoning out of the bowl and just made sure I rubbed it on there. Look at that. This is how the shrimp came out. Nice and pretty and golden brown and seasoned well. And when I tell you it is yummy, this is really yummy. And here is the finished product. Sorry I didn't do the recipe here for the potatoes, but I'll do that next time. But look at that beautiful, beautiful dish. Oh my God, restaurant style. Okay, now it's time to taste test. So I'm gonna taste this and listen. If you can see from the looks of my face, this is a really, really yummy dish. Yes, girl, yes. Enjoy every minute of it, every second. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time.